Hey, thank you for stopping by. This is Chris Moore. We're going to go over 3 things that are important to me as far as when you start doing flips. It's very simple. I'm going to go direct to it. It's money, ownership, and title search. Now let's break those down. Number one is just the money. Man, people will tell you on YouTube or some sort of social media like, hey, just get a deal and you make a bunch of money. But you gotta be prepared. You gotta have that money set aside for making mortgage payments, out-of-pocket expenses for repairs, just even clean out stuff. And there's so many little things that you don't anticipate until you start going through it that will pop up. Like, for example, we have a house that we're working on, and we got a good quote, but just when you start going through the house and take a couple panels off, now you realize that the wood rot's worse than what was quoted. So now you're like, okay, now it's up another 4 or 5K. And then you just realize that things will start compiling on you, and you just have to be prepared. You really got to have your money set aside, or have a good partner with that's already have experience, so they're ready for this. Because if you're not ready, you can easily be underwater and then be like struggling just to pay your own bills, let alone pay any bills you got on these mortgages for all these investment loans you got going on. So that's just one thing. Number one, just have your money ready, because you just don't know what's going to come up. Number two, make sure things are signed correctly, because sometimes when you meet these distressed people with distressed properties, they will try to do anything shady to get more money, and not just from you. You might have a contract on the deal, and they might go try to sell it to someone else. So you gotta make sure you have everything sewn up, buttoned up before you even try to say, hey, I got a deal coming up, because you don't know what kind of person might come behind you and try to squeeze the deal out of you. Try to steal the deal from you. Just make sure you have every seller's signature. Make sure you have the person who owns the house signature. Someone might have a mortgage house, and I just had a situation where the other person that we thought owned the house, she had signed the deed over to someone else. So when that situation happens, now I got to track this person down who she signed the deed over to. And of course, this person's not going to want to give the deed away for free, so they want some money. And we got to make sure that it all makes sense in the end. So just make sure you check things like who's the actual owner of the house and get things signed up with the actual owner before you proceed anywhere further with the house. Number 3, what I got is title search. This is one of the most important things you can do, because if you don't do title search up front, you don't know what kind of secret mortgage might be hidden behind there. They might have a second mortgage, who knows, or some of the liens, and you think, oh, the sellers should be Joe honest, and they talk to you and they say, hey, this is my house, I only owe 100K on it, yeah. And then you find out later that they've been, not telling the whole truth, and you're like, oh, now there's a lien on it for the roof that you didn't pay for, AC unit, or you took out home equity loan, or your dad took out home equity loan, your mom, your sister, whoever took out home equity loan against this property several years back, but they didn't want to tell you, and now you're thinking you're getting a deal at 100, but you find out it's really you owe 180, and the comps are telling you it's 250. Now you're like, oh, this doesn't make sense margin wise. So just make sure you do a title search, up front. It's worth the $75-$80, whatever your title company's going to charge you. Get that up front, get that done, so in confidence you go ahead and procure the property without worrying about something sneaking on the title search end. Those are my top 3 things. You got to have money set aside and be ready. Not only just have money for your own expenses, but have a good amount of money set aside for these flips that you're working on, for paying hard money lenders, paying contractors, paying everything else. Number 2, it would be make sure you know who the owners of the property are. It sounds simple, but you got to track down who's on a deed and who's on the mortgage note. And number 3, title search. Title search is the most important thing. I don't know, rank up their money, but title search is so important, because if you don't do a title search, you can lose a whole bunch of money not doing a title search, and that would really come back to haunt you. So if you like this content, thank you so much for watching. Chris Moore at Momentum Realty. If you're looking for a real estate listing, buy, sell, or invest, that's my real estate side. If you're looking to get a cash offer in your house, we buy a house in Florida. That's my investment side. 2 businesses, same person. Give me a call, same number. Thank you so much for watching. Talk to you later.